Hello and welcome to Namaste Thunder Bay. My name is Kelly Rooney and I'm going to guide you through a 25-minute yoga practice. Normally when we come together on Namaste Thunder Bay, we've been exploring Hatha Yoga or Hatha Yoga. And today we're going to try something a little bit different. It's Yin Yoga, which means we're going to take our time and do fewer of the postures but hold them for longer periods of time. And while we're doing this type of yoga, we try to still our mind, become quiet, go within, and let gravity and our breath do all the work to help loosen up our body and center and still our minds. So to start off today, we're going to begin with a breath practice. Our breath practice will be Nadi Shodhana. So in order to do that, we like to give each other the peace sign and then drop those fingers down into your palm, leaving your thumb and your ring finger free for you to work with. We're going to place the thumb on the right nostril and breathe in through the left. Block the left, let it out through the right. Breathe back in through the right. Block, let it out through the left. Back in through the left. Let it out through the right. Continue breathing, using that rhythm in through one side. Slight pause at the top of the inhale. Let it out through the other side. Back in. Let it out through the opposite side. While you're doing this breath practice, you want to try and draw a long, smooth inhale, slight pause at the top of the inhale, and as you're exhaling, let all the air out slowly before you take your next breath in. Taking one more big breath in and out, letting the air out on your left side. You can release the breath practice. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, just take a moment to breathe naturally, noticing any changes in your body, any physical sensations. Notice the clarity of your mind. Are there any changes in the thoughts, the frequency or the quality of them? Now would be a really good time to set your intention for your time on the mat today. When we're exploring yoga, our intention is there to be our anchor or our guide. And there's no right or wrong intention. Setting your intention just gives you something to come back to in moments where your mind wanders. You might want to reflect on your intention and then help that to guide you. Or if you're having any struggles with throughout the class, go back to your intention and let that be your guide. Or your intention could be a larger picture item for you. It might be something that you're working on in your day-to-day life. Developing more patience, being kinder to yourself. So if that's what it is, explore that during your time on the mat in yoga. Try to be more patient with yourself in the postures. Try to be kind in your thoughts to yourself. So take time to set a meaningful intention for your time on the mat. And then we'll take a cleansing breath to begin our practice by inhaling smooth, exhaling through the mouth. You want to visualize breathing in good energy, releasing any tension. deep breath in. Let it all out. As I mentioned with our Yin practice, today I'm going to take you through only about 5 to 8 poses, depending on how we use our time. Normally, as a new practitioner to Yin Yoga, you might only hold the poses for 1 to 3 minutes, and as you develop your ability to stay in these postures for longer periods of time, it might be 5 to 8 minutes in each posture. So just remember that this is building up your stamina in being able to find stillness in the posture. We're going to start off with a butterfly pose. So you want to take the bottoms of your feet together. You want a nice tall spine. It doesn't matter how close or how far away your feet are from your body. Find the comfortable space that works for you. You might want to rock side to side to feel your sits bones engaged with the mat. You might want to pump a little bit of tension out of your legs by waving the butterfly wings. And then from there, you can keep your hands on your feet, your ankles, or you can make tented fingertips out in front of your feet. And we're going to breathe in and draw a nice tall spine. And as you exhale, you want to come forward with your heart, letting your heart lead. Keeping a straight back, going down as far as you can comfortably. Remember, we're going to hold this for a couple of minutes. So if this is my edge, as far as I can go, ease away from my edge slightly. And when you have found your most comfortable space, then if it feels good in your body, you can roll forward, letting your head and shoulders relax. And then you're going to use your focus and your attention on your breath to come into stillness and silence, and you may feel yourself sinking a little further down with each breath. And if that's the case, you might just want to remember, if you're visualizing your breath, visualize lengthening on the inhale and lowering on the exhale. Remembering not to work beyond your own edge, finding your edge and not moving beyond that or easing away from it is really important. You will find that your body will tense up if you work right to your edge, and that will be counterproductive to your Yin practice. So see if there's any tension in your body, if you can direct your breath toward the places where there are tension, and see if you can let go of that tension. Relaxing your legs, relaxing your hips, relaxing your head and shoulders. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to sink in a little further. Trying to find that moment of stillness. If thoughts are popping up, you can notice and acknowledge them without getting caught up in them. We're going to prepare to begin to come out of the posture. And one of the important things to remember with a Yin practice is that we want to move very mindfully. So rather than just coming up straight away, slowly take your time, walk your hands back, use your arms to begin to press your torso up. And use your hands on the outside of the knees to draw the knees together. We're going to plant our feet down about hip width apart. And hands back behind the hips. You can lower the knees down from one side to the other. The reason that we do this is to help neutralize the spine after intense forward folds or back bends. And I didn't mention earlier, because it's not necessary to have blocks or props in your yin practice, but it can help. So if you happen to have yoga blocks, you might want to grab them and have them near at hand. If you don't own any and you'd like to still have some props, you can use pretty much anything, even a cushion off the couch. So in future, if you wanted to try that, you can lay the cushion down for a pillow for the head. You can prop it up on its side and make a pillow there. Any household props will work to help you to relax completely into your yin practice. So we're going to take our legs out in front of us this time. You want to make sure those sits bones are engaged. You can rock side to feel those sits bones making contact with the mat, which helps to tilt the pelvis forward for the health of the spine. We're going to bring the left foot in toward the right knee or thigh, and again, make sure the sits bones are engaged. We're keeping the right foot flexed, and we want to make sure that we're lengthening the spine before we go into the forward fold. So it does help to draw the hands up overhead. Breathe in to lengthen. And as you exhale, come forward over the leg, drawing your hands out in front of you, drawing your heart down in front of you. And wherever you can go comfortably with a flat back, only go that far, knowing that you're going to be able to roll your head or neck forward, relaxing the shoulders to come into your forward fold. And as I mentioned, if you want to use a pillow or a prop, you can use that to give yourself a place to rest. So, taking a moment to find your edge, then ease away from it. Relax your body and start to focus your mind. When we need to focus our mind, we can use our breath as the guide. Start to notice, inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to relax and release. See if you can focus in on the feeling of your breath coming in and out of your nose. See if you can feel your ribs expanding and contracting as you breathe. See if you can feel your vertebrae lengthening as you inhale and stretch your spine longer. And see if you can come to a place of stillness. If this is a really challenging posture for you, remember to be gentle and kind in your thoughts to yourself. If you're practicing at home, it's often just you, all by yourself, no one to compare yourself to, no one to judge yourself next to. It's your yoga practice, your body, your mind, the connection between the two. Getting ready to move to the other side, remember you want to use your hands, walk them backward to help press the torso up. And as you prepare to move your leg forward, help to guide the leg with your hands. You may want to rock side to side again on the sits bones. If there's any tension in the legs, you might want to shake it out. And then draw the right foot in toward the left. Make sure the the sits bones are connected with the mat. Left foot is flexed this time. Inhaling, draw the hands up overhead and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, come forward, slowly finding your own edge where you can no longer go forward with a straight back. And then allow the head and shoulders to roll forward and relax. One of the common things that people experience when they're going through their yoga practice is noticing that there is a difference between one side of the body and the other. Remember not to judge harshly or have negative thoughts if this is the more challenging side for you. Developing an attitude of gratitude is part of our yoga practice, just being grateful for our bodies and everything that they do to support us. Begin to focus in on the sound of your own breath. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to release any tension. If you feel tension in your leg, in your hip, in your foot, see if you can relax them. Finding that moment of stillness. Beginning the process of coming up slowly, use the fingertips. Draw the torso up. Use your hand to help guide your legs forward. Shake out any tension if there's tension there. And this time we're going to take our legs open to the sides. So in either direction, keeping the feet flexed, making sure the sits bones are engaged. You might notice that your thighs activate almost immediately, so they are going to be active, but make sure they're not tense because we want to open up and help ourselves forward in this fold. And again, feel free to grab your yoga blocks or your pillows. You may need to stack a few up in order to be comfortable and be able to relax into this position. So I am going to take 2 for this one, and breathing in to lengthen my spine. And as I exhale, I come forward with my heart. You can walk your hands down your leg. You can walk them out in front of you. It's up to you. You want to find, I actually didn't need as many as I thought. So for coming down, you want to go as far as you can comfortably with the flat back. And then allow your head and shoulders to roll forward to find a place of comfort. And then we're going to take all of our attention to our breath. And as you're breathing, you're inhaling to lengthen the spine. Exhaling to relax and release any tension. And as you release tension, see if you can run a little body scan. Take your energy from the top of your head, run it down your spine. Notice your hips. And then take the energy all the way down the legs to the ends of your toes, seeing if you can release energy, tension, relaxing the muscles along the way. Inhaling. Exhale, let go of any tension. Sometimes it takes a minute to settle in. And once you've found the right place for yourself, bring your energy and attention to your breath. Start to notice where you feel your body expanding and contracting as you breathe. Become aware of the sound of your own breath. Find the stillness. If your mind is getting caught up in thoughts, remind yourself of your intention for your time on the mat today. We're going to come up and out of this pose slowly. Again, walk the fingertips back, drawing the torso up. And once again, use your arms to help lift your legs up. Again, we're going to plant the feet about hip width apart in front of us, knees bent, arms behind you. And we're going to shift the weight side to side. The knees go up and over like a windshield wiper. Continue just moving the knees back and forth. And we'll begin to move any props out of our way. We're coming up onto our hands and our knees on the mat. So just finding yourself comfortably on your mat with your knees about hip width apart. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. And we're going to be exploring what we call dragon pose in our yin practice. So you might want to shift your hips back towards your heels and release your right foot forward towards your hands. We do want to try to keep the front knee bent over top of the ankle. And if you need to put a pillow or a folded blanket underneath your left knee, just for a little bit more comfort, you can. This first version of dragon is exactly where we are. Now, if you can't come down this far comfortably, you might need some books or yoga props or cushions underneath your hands to keep your chest up higher. If you can get comfortably down into your hips with tented fingertips, you can just sink in here. This is a bit of an intense stretch, so as we're developing our practice, we're going to start off here with just a 1-minute practice of easing into our hips. So keeping the spine neutral, not straining the neck up or down. Try and find that natural gazing point that allows you to have your neck as a direct extension of your spine. And then we're going to lean back, bringing our hips back towards our heels so that we can take that right leg, draw it across the mat, bringing the knee down, guiding the leg back into what we call our sleeping swan pose. So you want to make sure that your hips are squared forward. Again, if you need to prop a pillow underneath your right hip, that's fine. You want the hips to be equal, so you don't want one up and one down. Level, and then either coming down onto your forearms if that's available to you, or resting the entire torso on top of the thighs, making a cushion with your hands, or drawing the forehead down to the mat, or up on pillows. Remember, you need to build up your practice in a way that makes sense to your body. Once you're there, we're going to stay here for 1 minute of breath. If this is a little bit of an intense stretch, there is also part of the practice in knowing that the time will go by quickly, and if it's tension and not pain, we just breathe through it knowing this is just for a moment. We can breathe in, let it all go. Come right into that moment with your breath. To release from this side, we're going to come back up onto our fingertips, and you can curl your toe under at the back, lifting your knee up. We're going to shift ourselves back onto our hands and our knees. This time, as you sink your hips back towards your heel, release your left foot and bring it forward. Knee is over top of the ankle. And we're sinking into our hips. Again, use the blocks, pillows, or props that you have or need. You can again put a little cushion under the knee at the back if you need to. And take a moment to breathe in and let it all out. Neck is in a neutral space. Let go of any tension in the jaw, tongue, cheeks. And then we're going to shift back, release the left foot down onto the mat, draping the leg across the mat, coming into your sleeping swan pose again. And a reminder that you can come down onto the forearms. Neck is a natural extension of the spine, unless it's more comfortable for you to come all the way down onto the mat. Really listen to your body and what it needs. Hearing the sound of your own voice. I guess in your case, I'm talking about your breath. For me, I focus in on the breath. And as we get ready to wrap up our yin practice today, pressing back up and out to transfer out of this pose, we're going to shift our weight onto the left hip, release the right leg in front of you, coming into a seated position. To close our practice, as always, we'll bring our hands to our heart center, bow our head toward our hands. Namaste Thunder Bay.